We talk a lot about jam sessions here on the Tune Project, and I've mentioned the many benefits of attending them. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, you might be new here, feel free to check out this video right here. But despite knowing all of this, you might be wondering what you should be doing when it actually comes time to play. And today, I'm here to help you out with this by giving you the basics. Consider this your guide for Jam Session Etiquette Best Practices 101. Hi, I'm Lauren, a professional violinist and fiddle player currently living in Nashville, Tennessee, and I help thousands of people achieve their violin and fiddle goals. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. We would love to have you here. Now, let's get one thing straight. You can never be 100% fully prepared for a jam session. After all, it's not a band rehearsal with a set list and chord charts. The fun of jam sessions is that they're a little bit more spontaneous. People call out tunes that they know or have been working on, and you're constantly being introduced to new tunes. But there are a couple of things that you can do to get prepared ahead of time, and I'll list those out for you here. Firstly, learn a few standards and learn them well so that you can be confident when it's your turn to call out a tune. So make sure that you know things like the key, the melody, even chords, so that you're able to back up when other people are playing the melody. And this way you'll have a little bit more peace of mind when going into the jam session, and you can know that even if you don't know any of the tunes that other people call, at least you have a few in your back pocket that you're really comfortable with. Another thing you can do ahead of time is to listen to standards in the style of the jam session that you'll be attending. So if you are attending a bluegrass jam session, listen to bluegrass standards. Old time, listen to those old time standards. Irish, whatever the style may be, make sure that you are familiar with some just basic standards within that style so that you're going into the session with an idea of the form of tunes typically. And if a tune is called out that you don't know how to play but you've heard it before, this will automatically make you feel a little bit more comfortable in knowing that at least you recognize the tune. Going along with this, I would also recommend playing along with recordings of standards. So if you have any favorite fiddle groups or bands that you like to listen to, make sure that you are trying to play along with them so that you have an idea of how it'll go in the jam session setting. You can practice playing melody along with those recordings, you can practice playing chords, and you'll just have a better sense of what to expect. So now let's talk about what to do when you're actually in the jam session. Number one is to find your role. So assuming that you're a fiddle player, take a look around the circle, notice if you are the only fiddle player, if there are multiple fiddle players, notice what other types of instruments are there, how many instrumentalists are in the circle, is there a singer? All of these types of things are important to note and observe when you're first sitting in on a jam session, just so that you can find your place in the circle and know what you'll be playing. Every jam session is different, but typically the way that they work is everybody gets a turn to call out a tune. So typically they just kind of go around the circle and you call out a tune, everybody plays it, and then they move on to the next person calls out a tune, the group plays it, and it continues on in that way. So make sure that you're aware of your role so that you're able to recognize when you should be playing melody versus when it's somebody else's turn to be playing melody, and when you should be backing up using chords and all of those sorts of things. My second tip for when you're actually in the jam session is to listen. Simply just listen to those around you. You don't always have to be playing. Sometimes you can just take a break and listen to the melody, or if you're trying to play along, also listen to what's happening so that you can hear what other people are doing, who's playing melody, who's backing up. In addition to this, if you're unfamiliar with the tune that's being played, listening will help you to learn it as you go, and you'll be able to pick up on pieces of the melody, hopefully, and chords, and you'll have an understanding of what you should be playing. And my third and final tip for you today when it comes to participating in a jam session is to back off. less is definitely more when playing with other people. So turn on those listening ears and don't feel like you have to always be playing the melody or even always be playing something. Especially if you don't know a tune that's being played, don't feel like you have to dive in immediately as the tune starts. You're welcome to, as a fiddle player, just sit back and listen for a couple of phrases so that you have a better sense of the tune and how it's going, and the key as well. And then from there, you can gauge if you want to come in with the melody and try your hand at that, or if you want to stick with an open string and do a little shuffle, or back up with chords, whatever you decide to do at that moment. But don't feel like you have to give it your all the time. And certainly don't feel like you have to be the loudest player in the group either, because again, listening is key when it comes to playing with other people. Well, that's it from me for today. If you're interested in this topic and would like to learn more about jam sessions and how to participate in them, I host jam workshops regularly, and we have one coming up on June 23rd. It's virtual, so nobody will be able to hear you, but you'll be able to play along with me and receive real-time feedback and be able to ask questions and engage in that way. So I would love to see you there if you're interested in coming to that workshop. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Happy practicing!